Today our topic is expansion of substance in thermal physics. Expansion of substance. When the heat energy is supplied to a body, there can be an increase in the dimension of the object. So when the body is heated, the body size will be changed. That is the object was heated. After heating, the size of the object will be changed. That is called expansion. This change in the dimension due to rising temperature is called thermal expansion of an object. So the change in the object after heating, that is takes place due to the rise in the temperature of the object. So that is called thermal expansion of the object. The expansion of liquids. Example, mercury can be seen when a thermometer is placed in a warm water. So you are placing a thermometer in a warm water. In that thermometer you can see a red color line is rising up. So while rising up only you are going to note it the warm water's temperature. Okay. So that means the mercury level rises and the mercury was kept in an heat, that is hot water. The temperature rises. This shows the expansion. All forms of matter undergoes expansion on heating. So all forms of matter, what is a matter? So matter can be a solid, liquid and gas. So if all these things are heated, these matter also shows expansion. So expansion of substance can be determined in three ways: expansion of solids, expansion of liquids and expansion of gases. Today we are going to see the expansion in solids. When a solid is heated, the atoms gain energy and vibrate more vigorously. So when a solid was heated, what happens? Inside the solid you have atoms. So these atoms gets the energy. While getting the energy, what will happen? They move very fastly. So due to that, the vibration was seen in the atoms. So this results in the expansion of solid. For a given change in temperature, the extent of expansion is smaller in solids than in liquids and gases. So the temperature, if they had given a temperature and the temperature was changed, that is for a given change in temperature, so they are giving the change in the temperature and the expansion may be smaller in solids. So for a given temperature change, the expansion is smaller in solids compared to liquids and gases. And this depends on the nature of the solid, because solids are rigid. So for expanding the solid, you need more energy. There is more heat energy for expansion of the solids. So different types of expansion of solids are listed and they are explained also. Linear expansion, superficial expansion, cubical expansion. Linear expansion. So when a body is heated or cooled, the length of the body changes due to change in its temperature. So for example, think this is a rod. Okay. So this rod is kept in it is heated. So this length, you can notice the length of the rod. Okay. So the length of the rod after heating, the length of the rod is raised. Okay. And it is denoted as T0. This one is T0 means the temperature here it is 0. Okay. And it is L0. The length is also L0. And after heating you are getting T is equal to T0 plus that is heated temperature, that is delta T. Okay, delta T, and now the length was increased, so it is denoted as L. Okay. So this only they had given here. So when the body is heated or cooled, the length of the body changes due to the change in the temperature. That is called linear or longitudinal expansion because it takes place in a line order. So in a line order or longitudinal expansion. So that is called linear or longitudinal expansion. The ratio of increase in length of the body per degree rise in temperature to its unit length is called coefficient of expansion. So the increase in the length, okay, there is an increase in the length of the body to the degree of rise in temperature, okay, to its unit length. That is called coefficient of linear expansion. The SI unit of coefficient of linear expansion is Kelvin inverse. So Kelvin to the power minus, so you can written as K to the power minus 1, okay, like this. And the value of coefficient of linear expansion is different from different materials. So the coefficient of linear expansion value will be changed according to the objects used. So you can see the equation, that is delta L length by delta O, that is here, this is LO. So that was taken, okay. Delta L by LO is equal to alpha L delta T. So here the delta L is change in the length. So the final length minus original length. So final length is this one after temperature. And this is the original length. So that means final length minus original length. Delta T, change in temperature. That is final temperature minus initial temperature. Okay. And alpha L, that is the coefficient of linear expansion. Okay. So, superficial expansion. If there is an increase in the area of a solid object due to heating, then the expansion is called superficial or aerial expansion. That is, if a solid object you are taking, that object area, so is heated. After heating, there is an increase in the area size. So you can see here. So this is an object was taken, okay, and after heating, the size of the object of the area was occupied little bit larger compared to its original. That is, this is the object of the area, okay. After heating, this is the blue color is the area occupied after heating, okay. Such type it is called as superficial expansion. The ratio of increase in area of the body per degree rise in temperature to the unit area is called coefficient of superficial expansion. So the increase in the area of the object per degree rise in the temperature to its unit area, that is called coefficient of superficial expansion. So the coefficient of superficial expansion is also vary according to the objects, various objects. So it may vary. The SI unit of superficial expansion is Kelvin inverse, that is K to the power of minus 1. And it can be written as, that is delta A by A0, that is delta A by A0. A denotes here area. Alpha A, that is coefficient of superficial expansion, alpha A, and delta T. So delta A is change in area, that is final area minus initial area. Delta Z, that is A0. So A0 is original area. Delta T, the change in the temperature, final temperature minus initial temperature. Alpha A, coefficient of superficial expansion. Next, cubical expansion. If there is an increase in the volume of the solid body due to heating, then the expansion is called cubical or volumetric expansion. So, while heating the solid object, there is an increase in the volume, volume of the solid object. That is called cubical expansion or volumetric expansion. As in the cases of linear and aerial expansion, cubical expansion is also expressed in the terms of coefficient of cubical expansion, and the ratio of increase in the volume of the object per degree rise in temperature to its unit volume is called coefficient of cubical expansion. So, the rise in the volume, that is the increase in the volume, is due to the rise in the temperature. Then it is called coefficient of cubical expansion, and it is also measured in Kelvin inverse, that is K to the power of minus 1. So you can see here, this is the cubical, that is the solid which is taken in a cuboidal shape, that is cubical shape. And you can see the delta F, it is delta V, that is it is delta V is volume. So this is the original size, and after heating the size will be expanded in the cubical form. Okay. So the equation here, it is delta V by V0, that is V is volume, alpha V, that is coefficient of cubical expansion, alpha V, delta T. Delta V is change in the volume, final volume minus initial volume, V0 original volume, and delta T change in the temperature, final temperature minus initial temperature. Delta, that is alpha V, coefficient of cubical expansion. So this is the equation. So the coefficient of cubical expansion of some materials, that is for cubical expansion they had given some. So serial number, name of the material, coefficient of cubic expansion, Kelvin inverse. Aluminium 7 into 10 to the power of minus 5. Brass 6 into 10 to the power of minus 5. Glass 2.5 into 10 to the power of minus 5. Water 20.7 into 10 to the power of minus 5. Mercury 18.2 into 10 to the power of minus 5. So these are the cubical expansion. This they may ask in your 1 mark. Hope you understand the topic. If you have any doubts, post your doubts in the comment box. If you want to watch the video in Tamil, I had given the link in the description box. You can go and watch it. So give a thumbs up, share and subscribe to Science Easy Tech channel.